we have with us resource person, Prasanna Murthy TR. I welcome on behalf of all the participants and also the KSNUAHS Shimoga. In the afternoon session, we have a topic on philosophy, principles and ethics, which will be delivered by the Prasanna Murthy TR. I welcome on behalf and I hand over the stage to the Prasanna TR for delivering on philosophy, principles and ethics. Thank you.
My heartfelt salutations to Padma Shri, Basavashri, Dr. Shri Subhash Palekar ji. My heartfelt thanks to Yelade Shivappa Nayaka, University of Agriculture and Horticulture Sciences, Dr. Manjunath and Dr. Veerana. Dear friends, from yesterday, you have been listening, and also today you saw the results of zero budget natural farming taken in various zones of Karnataka, and you heard about the practices happening in Andhra Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, so on and so forth. Dear friends, we are at the cusp of taking a call whether we should continue with the age-old practices or should we go into zero budget natural farming. Just a week before, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization had a vast report done in the whole globe, wherein the loss of topsoil in the whole world is 36% as on today, and it will reach 88% in just 2060. So 88% of your land, agricultural land available today, will not be available for you to even grow fodder. What do? Have you got an answer? On the one side, huge researches happening in the Western countries and developed countries are stating there is a drop in yield, and in India so more so because uncontrolled use of chemical fertilizers. Uncontrolled use. This is not recommended use. Let me be very clear when I am telling. I am not against what you are doing. I am telling you the uncontrolled use, wherein you have to use, say for instance 4 bags, they are using 9 to 10, 12, 14 bags in Sirigu Pond elsewhere of 50 kgs each. And due to the impounding of water, the first thing any person, any farmer does is start growing water intensive crops the moment there is a dam or a canal or any project comes up near your place. The next thing is you rig drills, borewells. The moment you get, you should go for horticulture. That is arcanite and coconut, so on and so forth, which are water guzzling as per the knowledge till we know now. In future, take it out of your mind, arcanite does not require water, coconut doesn't require any water except rainfall. So how is this possible? Because when I write on the whiteboard, there will be reflection and you cannot see that. So friends, this who is going to control? In every state, as I have seen, all the agri officers are made to just sit in the office and do clerical jobs of writing down subsidies, giving seats and all those things. This time and again I have spoken to a lot of officers, and even in our cabinet meetings and Vidhan Soda, I fought a lot asking to allow the officers to go to the fields. They will correct the farmers. Don't do this, don't do that, you're doing wrong. But who is there to tell? We're just to give it a subsidy. 2.5 lakh crores, my dear. 2.5 lakh crores was the subsidy given for fertilizers just last year. Imagine the amount. What are we doing? There's a drop in yield. And we are a very proud nation. We call ourselves a very young growing India, where more than 45%, more than 45 crore people are the demography of Indian population. Around 45 crore are in the young generation and fit generation of 25 to 45 years. They're ready. They're ready. You are all ready to bring the economy from the 5th position to the 3rd position in another 10 years. Right? We are all ready. But dear sirs, tell me one thing, who is there to grow for India? Farmers are becoming an extinct species. You know, you go to any farm, you will see grey hairs. I die within another 5 years, 10 years, or I might retire from farming. I might not be in a position to take up farming, physically fit. Another 5, 10 years. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Nobody is there. Nobody is there. Go to any village. Early morning, 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9, you will see bus fully jam-packed with children. Okay? You will see n number of buses, private buses going to the villages to take the kindergarten children. I'm not saying it is wrong. Everybody should have the right to education. Everybody should have the right to have a good piece of meal. But is it not possible in farming? Is it not possible in farming? Do you know one thing? We are importing more than 80% of the pulses required. Oil seeds we are importing. We are worried about, can we grow vegetables? Can we grow cereals? Can we grow rice? What is this? What has been sent from there? On the one side, we are fighting against BT, GM and all those things. On the other side, what are being sent to your India from outside? Who knows? Right? What are we eating? 140 rupees per kg of groundnut seeds. And you get groundnut oil at 110 rupees. आहा, ये क्या बात है? किधर से 2% oil आ रहा है? How are you getting 200% oil in a kg? So that you can get 110 rupees, 120 rupees. Beautiful heroine is coming onto the screen and telling, this is good, that's good. What I do, right, wrong. Just buy it, buy it, buy it. Right? We want all things good, all things neat. There is one more community of officers whom I have spoken to. Hey, get lost, man. You don't grow, so do you think the nation will starve? You think the nation will starve? No, the carpets will grow for you. Carpets will grow for you. What is this? Carpet will grow you chickpea, carpet will grow you red gram, you'll grow you this horse gram and give it to you. You'll make everything into pellets and you'll have to eat like an animal. I would be harsh when I use the words, please. Let there be forgiveness from your side, apologies. But this is going to happen. And yes, the other person in a very big university at itself, hey, do you think they're going to eat upma and puri in your spacecraft? They are all eating, surviving on tablets. That will come. Ye kya ji? What is this? Can we be so arrogant? Can we be so? See, what is the problem? Why are we not looking at the cause of the problem? We are just looking. All the children are going to the schools. There is nobody there. All of them want to go and migrate to the cities to get good earnings, a good piece of meal. But are we looking at the cause? Your house has been burgled, right? Why? Night I forgot to close the door properly. Simple. A thief came accidentally. He pushed the door. It was much easy. You are all having a nice sleep. Everything was cleared in the morning. So now, morning you saw the bolts are not broken, right? The locks have not been broken, right? So what, instead of taking your mind, okay, you have to call the police to see that they will catch the thief and get back your valuables. But instead of that, giving a complaint to the police, what we do? We install CC cameras. We bring a good, what is that? Dog. We build a watchman shed and put a watchman there. Then we put a safety gate. What not? But what was the cause of your robbery? Forgetting to lock the door properly. Simple. Lock the door properly and sleep. It has to be banged and opened. At this time, the bang you will wake up and you will give a shout and you will put the thief out. We are not looking at the cause. We are looking at the remedies. That is where we are failing. We had very interesting research reports today. I am very proud of Dr. Chandrasekhar and not only Dr. Chandrasekhar, our Nayak sir is sitting there and lot of other from GKVK and all the Bagalkot, Raichur and all. They are doing a good job on working on natural farming. But there are some lapses. There are some lapses. Why it failed? Why was there a rust? First place, why did it come? A lot of things. So, I am not against. Once again, please. Because we more and more. I being a civil engineer left everything from the last 14 years. I am running around the state. Not even taking care of my farm. Doing very small odd civil jobs. Running around the state. Trying to teach the farmers. Trying to work out their problems. Lot of farm visits. So we are looking at more things. So, I being a patient cannot order or recommend you medicines, but a doctor can do it because he is seeing hundreds of patients. I being a single patient cannot become a doctor. So what we do, we run around a lot. We go to a lot of farms. We are looking at the problems. The causes, more than the problems, we are looking at the causes. How to stop this? For your kind information, madam, cabbage, cauliflower, no spray. Tomato, peas, red gram, pigeon pea, no spray. No spray. There is nothing called a spray bag in natural farming. Why does it happen here? Rust is a wind-borne spore, fungal spore. Why do you have to build a windbreak wall? Why were your borders left open? Blight is a major problem in pomegranate. Why are you not stopping the wind? Simple. Simple. The windbreak valves gives you fodder, gives you material for your family, gives you income, stops all this various problems. Why are we not doing that? We saw everything was open. Was there barricade anywhere? Except some strip farming. I'm not against. But what is happening? What we have to look at? So, from now on, it's my time. Please, all of you switch off your mobiles. Please, all of you switch your mobiles. Switch off your mobiles. And don't discuss amongst yourselves. Any doubt? Nothing. So please don't discuss amongst yourself because your noise will disturb others. And any doubts, every 45 minutes I'll be halting for just 5 minutes to take up your questions. Only regarding to the session I have finished. Right? And next session we will go forward. Friends, this is a very indigenous technology which has been designed, researched, designed and being propagated by Dr. Subhash Palekar. All over the place, from Nepal to Ceylon to all the places, Rajasthan to Tamil Nadu to everywhere. All climatic zones, all crops, all vagaries of climate. It is a people's movement. Here we do not have anything against anybody. It's a people movement. We are all the same citizens of the same country, would like to have all the best. So, I think you will understand. Friends, in the urge for growing more, we went on with a lot of things. We all know that. I would not like to dwell with it once again. But we left the local seed behind. We left the mother behind. We went forward with a new journey, new people, new things. And in the melee, we are stuck with so many diseases. So, I would like to start with explaining what exactly is ZBNF. This is Subhash Palekar Krushi, because today and even in the central government, it's ZBNF as of now. Zero budget, natural farming. What is zero here? What is zero then? What is a budget? Budget is the requirement and the earnings what we get, how we balance the thing. Requirement and the earning. So, the requirement for producing the main crop, the cost of production of the main crop is offsetted by the intercrops. The cost of construction or production, because I'm a civil engineer, construction comes first. Cost of production of the main crop is offsetted by the earnings from the intermediate and secondary crops. So now, there is a big question mark here about the intercrops. What are the intercrops you have to take in between any crop, except paddy, which is waterlogged? Waterlogging is done, impounding is done only in paddy, and all the other crops, including your, which are grapes, all your mango, all your arcanut, all your horticulture, vegetables, everything. What are the intercrops where to go? So now, if you have to think about the intercrops, there is a big argument about an intercrop. What is this? You cannot grow anything along with the main crop. Because this one I am stating, looking at Prajamani, we will get every week we are getting these articles, wherein the scientists and all these people will have answered the questions of the farmers. So you cannot grow anything with the main crop. That's what they say. Why? Disease. pest, first and foremost. Then, if at all, the intercrop, the meaning or our intelligence about intercrop is gone so bad, in groundnuts, which is a leguminous plant, we are inculcating pigeon pea. We are cultivating or growing red gram. In which one? In a leguminous plant. Already we saw why that was happening. You saw in the CF, the chemical farming, you saw there were just a few nodules on the crop, right? On the roots. Why? To supplement the P, you added the N. N is already coming free. When I have added the N, these nodules will squeeze, will decrease in size. Once they decrease in size, whatever you have added will not go to the plant and you will not get the yield. Simple. So, by mistake, what we are not looking at is, we are looking the other way wherein the enemy is going the different way. So friends, here the major thing is the main crop and the intercrop. Here the two things which we have to grow together to get a bountiful yield. So now, what are the main crops and what are the intercrops? Why should we grow them? We will be looking at a later stage. Now, when it comes to zero budget natural farming, what does it do? What is the zero once again here? Zero is a vacuum. It has got no meaning. It has got no value. But zero is a vacuum which can pull everything inside. A vacuum will pull everything inside. What all is going to pull? Zero chemical, zero seed, zero tilling, zero pesticide, zero everything. Only the income is the whole. You'll get the full income. So, when we are talking about zero budget natural farming, the first or Subhash Palekar Krushi, we are looking at how to balance or get money more than your main crop. You'll be astonished to say, if I say in horticulture, we are paying 10 to 20 times more than the main crop. If you are getting 2 lakhs in Arkanak, intercrops we are taking 15 to 18 lakhs. That is the promotion we are giving. You are taking 10 to 12 tons of tomato. The intermediate we are giving in lakhs, 4 to 6 lakh rupees per acre. How are you doing this? How are you stopping all these things? How are you going forward? So let's look at this one. This is a very, very wonderful technology given by Subhash Palekar. So next friends. Now, when we are talking about this, all of us are in a hurry to make up this money. In the melee, what are the people doing the mistakes? Why natural farming? Not in our university, it is practiced as per what Palakarji is told. But what the farmers do? They go balancing everything. Sanelli, Swamiji, Gokrupamrita, yes. Palakarji, Jivamrita, yes. Uchmaste Goda, Dr. Sahil, yes. Microbial B, yes. Yes. Yeah, everything they will put it here. So now, tell me who is the father? You have got a problem. Who will you ask? You will call the Swamiji? You will call Prasanna? You will call Uchmaste Goda? Or microbial B people? Who will you call now? Everybody will escape. Everybody will escape. So, a simple single practice of taking up and natural farming, what we say is, because this is his life earning. It's a farmer's life earning. He is not an engineer. For me, 50,000 goes, 2 lakh goes. Get away. For you, taking 50,000, 80,000, 2 lakh rupees salary, 50,000 goes not a matter. But for a farmer, even 5,000 matters. Because why I tell you this is, when I receive the phones, because I have got used on YouTube, given to the TV, there are 46 episodes of 45 minutes each given on TV. I get a call. I got a lot of calls like this. Sir, I am having bottle in my hand. Should I consume or will you save me? Honestly, Honestly, I don't have anything to gain by telling a lie. First answer is throw it, I am there. I am here, throw it, throw it, throw it. I am with you, throw it, throw it. First thing, throw it. And within 3-4 months, we guide them fully on the phone. Ask them to watch the videos, fully guide them on the phone. 3-4 months, sir, aap humko bacha diya. You saved me. I'm happy. I got a very good onion yield. Simple. We have to tackle so much because farmer state is a very different thing today. Okay, now. So, what is zero budget natural farming? Zero budget natural farming or Subhash Palekar Krishi involves using only the ingredients what you have got in your farm to cultivate the land. But there was a question. Sir, jaggery is brought from outside. Yes, I am starting today. Otherwise, I will have to wait for 1 year. What do I do now? I start today, so I will buy 2 kgs of this thing. You plant a papaya plant, 8 months you will get the fruit. You plant, grow sugarcane, just one seed. You can, that sugarcane is enough for 30 acres. One seed. So, you plant, you will get it at 14 months. So, what do you want to do? Some things you will have to buy. And also the flour, the gram flours and all, you will not have immediately. I am growing maize, I am growing something, we will not have in our house. Grains have not been stored. So, in the initial days, we have to use certain things from outside, then start intermediate crops and the boundary crops, we can keep taking. So now the next one is, it states, observe nature. Observe nature. What's happening below that big tree, huge tree in the forest? On the mountain, between 2 rocks, on the roadside. No water, no manure, no irrigation, no fumigation, no spray, nothing. But still they are green even in summer. Deep summer, they are green. Time to time, they flower, they shoot out, they flower, they give the pods, they ripen, mature, good, first class quality. No spray. No spray. Nothing. How are they giving it? So what is the thing happening beyond that? What is the natural processes which are happening below that huge tree? We have to understand that natural processes which are happening below that huge tree and inculcate in our farm. The same processes what are happening there, bring it and inculcate in your farm, because there is a question. What is that? So it's a forest, it's nature. So there anything will grow. That's not useful for the human beings. I want to grow finger millet, I want to grow paddy, I want to grow sugarcane, I want to grow arecanut, I want to grow vegetables, I want to grow flowers. Whatever it is, fruits. I want to grow. So now what happens? Here there is human intervention. You are planning what you want to grow. You are cultivating your land to grow what you want. So there is a human intervention here. The seeds are brought from outside. The seeds there drop and grow. But here we collect the seeds, keep it and grow it in the season we want. Kharif, Rabi, right? Or summer crops. So what we are doing here? So here we are influencing the growth of the plant here. So when there is an human intervention, it is called from nature to natural farming. Otherwise it's a natural forest. No human intervention, natural forest. There is human intervention, it is a natural farming. So you will now know what you have got to do. What I am going to go, probably I will be going up to 8 o'clock in the night. Is that okay for you? One voice. Till 8 in the night, is it okay for you? Because it is not enough for me. I can go till 8 in the next morning. 8 in the evening is okay? Yeah, please. Because otherwise I will cut short a lot of things. I will be jumping a lot, skipping a lot. The time is very limited. 8 is okay for you all? No voice? No? Is it okay? Because I'll be here for a single day. After that, I'll not meet you. Right? So 8 is okay. Because I'll plan my stages. Otherwise, we'll be skipping. One leg here, one leg there. So, in zero budget natural farming or Subhash Palekar farming, what we do is, we study the thing. So now what are we going to do? When you are praying to God, when anybody is praying to God, we ask, give us valle vidya buddhi. We ask, give us very good education and very good knowledge. What is education? What we read? I am a civil engineer because I read through the books. Right? You are an agronomist because you read through the books. That is your thing. But what is knowledge? The science you understand each and every day. You are seeing a plant grows, after a few days it will come, 3 months, okay, we know, now it will sprout, we know it will give raw fruits, then after a few days it will become green bigger, then yellow, red, whatever it is, sweet, from sour to sweet, lot of things. So we know that, that is the knowledge. But in education what we say, we will see how it goes about. What is happening in each stage, what are the chemicals being added up, or the nutrients which is taken from the soil to make this from here to there. So friends, here the use of knowledge and intelligence and education is very important in natural farming. Observation is keen. Observation is very keen in natural farming. Okay now. So we are bringing whatever is the thing, processes happening below that huge tree into our farm, that is called natural farming. The third one, most important, is the cow is the soul of natural farming. Cow is the soul of natural farming. A single local cow, one cow, cow dung and urine is sufficient for 30 acres of land. To get a bountiful crop in 30 acres of land. It was good till now. You are listening to him. It's better to get up and go out now. Because he's become insane, talking something about one cow on 30 acres of land. The cow dung and urine is sufficient for 30 acres of land to grow any crop. With the adaptation of intercrops. Very important. Just I am going paddy, just I am going finger millet, just I am growing arcanite, no sorry. With the introduction of intermediate crops, we can get bountiful crop yields up to 30 acres. Friends, so this cow is the soul. At the same time, in zero budget natural farming, what we will be looking at is the local seed. Why this local seed? Probably, and I will be talking something, it might be in contradiction to what you have thought, but I will put my thoughts forward. What is a local seed? Local seed is that seed which is there from time immemorial. And our mothers, when their husbands, when the male elderly went out to hunt, they might return, might not return. They would go for months together hunting. That's when these mothers of ours took the risk of eating and tasting these grains which can be given to their children. That is called a mother. So the native seed is the only treasure of the mother. She is the one who decided which you got to eat: paddy, eat ragi, arcanite you can eat or not, calamities and all. Who is the one who controls the kitchen? Mother. He is the one who has given this wonderful concept of agriculture. And the various crops we had to grow, various crops we had to eat in the season. It was given by whom? Mother. So friends, the local seed is the next very important thing of her. Now you will be astonished to find why a local seed. It is not going to yield more. Simple, right or wrong? It is not going to yield. Okay, fine. We went forward to BT. Forget about hybrid. We went to BT. What has happened to BT today? Rajasthan pink ball worms have damaged, destroyed 90% of the cotton crop. This is in all leading dailies. It has come in all leading electronic media. 65% in Haryana, 60% in Punjab, and whatever rest is harvested have got no buyers because they are also damaged. Right or wrong? So now where we go? Where do we go now? Where do we hide now? So we have to see that what the local seed is. So local seed is that seed which has come from time immemorial, adapting to the various problems. Like you saw in Corona, there were more than 20 variants which happened, right? They told Corona this one, Corona to so many submissions. It is kind of just there were more than 20 variants happened. So the local seed have withstood all these diseases, all these pests, all these climatic variations, everything there. Come one time and over and together, they have got built immunity in themselves to take care of all these problems. That's the local seed. Now, there is a question. What is a local and what is a hybrid? As for a farmer, hybrid seeds cannot be reused, right? Wrong? They cannot be reused. Why? There is a mother, there is a father. Which one comes there? Nobody knows. So, it's being rolled out. That's what they rolled out. But still, when there is no availability of the seeds, a lot of our farmers who are practicing natural farming also are using hybrid seeds and getting good results. But after that, what they are doing, whether they are reusing or they are whether once again going to the market to buy, that information is lacking. We'll have to check out it. So the local seed. What has happened with the hybrid? Now, why are we getting so many diseases? Where are we getting so many diseases? First thing, let me tell you one thing clear. The soil is mother. The mother is the mother. The plant is the mother. Simple. All the things are mother. So now, a healthy mother, healthy child, simple and straight. Nobody need question. Healthy soil, healthy plant. Healthy plant, nutritious food. Nutritious food I eat. My mother cooks, no disease. Simple. Healthy mother, healthy child, no disease. Simple. Healthy food, you eat, no disease. Simple. No constipation, no loose motion, nothing. Everything will be in order. So, now, what is the local seed got to do with an hybrid seed? Why are we going to talk about it? When we are talking about an hybrid seed, let us see now how the food is prepared. This one is going on. A little we will be touching the basics because I have to prove what ZBNF is, right? Is it okay, madam? The way we are going? Okay, thank you. So now, we all know any leaf is green. We all know. We also know there are small pores called stomatos. It is like teaching LKG, but still please. How we are going to increase the yield? How we are going to increase the yield, you will see now. 30 quintals of finger minute per acre. Have you ever heard about it? 30 quintals of finger millet per acre. Wherein you use 12 lakh seeds and I use 12,000 seeds. How do I get? Here. Here is the answer. So any crop, whether it's a coconut, whether it's a tomato, whatever it is, flower or whatever it is, the answer lies here. Very basic. So now, we know that the plants are, leaves are green, there are tomatoes, it takes CO2 from the atmosphere and there are branches, everything whatnot, and there are roots. From here they take the water vapor, not water. We are on the wrong impression. What are we on the wrong impression? Plants drink water. No, sorry. Plants do not drink water. They cannot drink water. Because there is an osmosis process wherein air and water has to be pumped together. It has to be sucked together. We know that. So, sir was very clear when he told between the pores there should be air circulation. When he told about organic farming, when he was talking about mulching and all those things, he was telling the soil becomes porous, wherein there is an equal proportion of air and water vapor in between. So now we know. So this takes out how many? 6 carbon dioxide molecules plus 12 water molecules are taken. With the availability of the sun, with the solar energy falling onto the plant, what's happening? There is a new composition, biological and chemical property happening. The solar energy converted into electrical energy, and that is a biological chemical process happening, and this becomes, they join together and become glucose. We all know that. What is this glucose now? C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. Both are going where? But water should have gone down, right? Water should have gone down because you are taking the water from the bottom, right? Wrong. No, it is from the clouds. So where it has to go? It has to go there, go back to the sea. So water 6O2, 6H2O is going now. With this one, what is happening? With the solar energy falling onto the leaf, every square foot, the solar energy falling onto the thing, on the leaf per square foot is 1250 kilocalories. What is a calorie then? Calorie is nothing, just to revive you, because it's long time since you have studied. Even I forget the formula for cement, because almost 20 years now I have studied. Somebody has to remind me. In the same way, small things. So what is a calorie? The temperature required, energy required to raise the temperature of water from 4 degrees to 5 degrees. Just a single degree raise, 1 cubic centimeter of water raised from 4 degrees to 5 degrees is a calorie. 1000 calories. Like that, 12,250 kilocalories of solar energy falls onto the plant, on the leaves. It can take only 1%. That is 12.5 kilocalories. Only 12.5 kilocalories of the solar energy it can take, and there it produces 4.5 grams of slightly getting confused because I always write in, I will be speaking in Kannada. Is 6H12O6. It prepares 4.5 grams of glucose or kacha sugar. This one, now we are going to do some jadoo here, wherein in the local seeds also we are going to get more than double than the hybrid seeds. We'll see how we are going to do that. So now what we are looking at is, we are getting 4.5 grams of glucose prepared by the plant, every square feet of the plant. Now what we are doing is, here wherever your production is measured in kgs, wherever your production is measured in kgs, like all your grams, rice and all these things, 1.5 gram otherwise we'll. Of this 4.5, 1.5 is for growth. What are the growth? Leaves, the stems, the branches, the trunks, the roots, the secondary roots, and one root which you do not know are the tertiary or the capillary roots. Nobody attacks these capillary roots, right? Otherwise, you would not have given for your coconut tree water at the basin. You would not have rounded up the drip tubes around your coconut tree to give water there, because nobody is looking at the tertiary or the capillary roots. So now, friends, so 1.5 is for the growth. Next 1.5 is for its children. Now comes the question, what are these children? I saw a single paddy seed. I saw a single arcanate seed. I saw a single sugarcane seed. What do you get? Those many seeds of finger millets, those many seeds of paddy, those many seeds of sugarcane. That is, you take each one of them and sow back. What will happen? They will grow. So they are the children of this crop, but they are the yield for us. Why we talk about the children is very, very important. You will understand later. Why is using the term children, not grains? Why is not talking about yield? Why is he talking about children? So she is a mother. You have to always keep it in mind. She is a mother. Every seed you sow back, they grow, right? So she always wants to give healthy children. She always wants her children to be healthy. That's very important. She will take a lot of risks. We'll be seeing in the going how a mother takes a lot of risks. The same way the plant takes a lot of risks. How she will overcome the stresses, how she will overcome the excessive water, climatic changes, everything. What she will be doing with whom she will take support. We'll see all those things. So 1.5 grams is for the children or the yield. Let me be more clear, yield. 1.5 gram, very, very important. This is where you will save everything in natural farming. It is for the disease-free crop, disease-free grain, disease-free child. Quality of the food, the taste, the keeping quality. You know one thing? You buy radish, you go to the village market, Sante, you buy it at 2 o'clock, you will come to the office, KVK, evening you will go home, right? It is still white, right or wrong? It is brown, right? Already here when you are buying fresh, full tight, it was hard when you go home. No keeping quality. But when you grow in natural farming, keep it for 20 days, it will be white, no softness. Even radish, it will be white. You keep tomato for 1 month, no problem. So that is I will honestly tell you, I kept paddy seeds for 10 years. And only recently we polished it. We hulled it. Only after 10 years, not a huji, not a grain moss, what do you say? And once again, no broken. Hardly 1 or 2% broken rice for 10 years. No safety measures taken. Just throw it in my car, throw it under the staircase, throw it under the hall, because we wanted it to be so rugged. We'll see what all you can do. What are the problems? That is, she has given a very healthy child. Strong. So next. So of this 1.5 gram, very important thing is what Sir was telling. 10 to the power of 5 ESB, 10 to the power of 5 rhizobium, 10 to the power of 5 actinomycetes, 258 into 10 to the power of 5, 232 into 10 to the power of 5. What all he was writing? What all they have seen? Those are the microbes which are in the soil, which convert or decompose the nutrients required for a plant growth and give it to them. But they don't do it free. When will they work? When you pay them. When you pay them, that to daily payment. Morning from the sun starts, they'll start producing the food, they'll start distribution of the food, and these microbes start giving the food. In the evening, they'll be paid their bata. They'll secrete this glucose around the roots. You pull out any fresh plant, you see there is a slight sticky thing. Raggy, anything, have you observed it? Slowly you have to remove it, check it out. There is a sticky solution around the thing, which is what? Where is it gone? Small board, glucose. Because 4.5 grams it is distributing like that, keeping quality and all these things put together, and that's how you are getting this 4.5 grams of food which is there is distributed. In the horticulture crops, where we talk about tons of mango, tons of banana, tons of arcanite, tons of coconut, wherein we talk about that, it is distributed into just two parts, growth and all the elements what are here, and 2.25 grams for the yield. Very simple, that's how it is distributed. Now, I want to increase the yield. Local seeds, you are telling it is not going to give a yield, but that was wrong. What all happened 60, 80 years, let us not discuss once and time and again. So, we all know that. So, but we want to increase the yield. So, what we are doing now, we are not going to put anything. We are not going to add anything. So, how are we going to increase the yield? So, now, if I got to increase the yield, what should I do? This plant, we know that whatever sunlight is falling on the plant, 4.5 grams per square feet is produced. So, those many leaves are producing, say, 45 grams. But I am a farmer. I want more yield. I want more yield. So, now, how do I get more yield? From 45 to say 60, 60 to 80 grams of food preparation. How do I do it now? How can it be done? Increase the leaves. You have to increase the leaves or increase the size of the leaves. So now there are two options for you. When all your village folks go home in the night, you enter the other farm. Okay? You are growing finger millet, you are growing pigeon pea or mango, whatever it is. You go to other farm who is growing the same thing, pull out the leaves. Come here and put Fevikwik and add up the leaves. Can it be done? Why all, array, give me energy here, I have to speak till 8 o'clock. Can you fix it to increase the numbers? Okay, now, I want to increase the size. Go sit on the plant, sit on the tree, pull it like a balloon. Yes, it will happen. The numbers will increase. Why? A leaf will tear into 4 to 8 pieces. So 80 leaves will become 300 pieces. But you cannot expand. Now, I want to increase the yield. How can it be done? Any magic? Simple. Take the water away. Allow the root to grow. Why you have to take the water away? All the food that is prepared is stored in the ಸರ್ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡದೊಂದು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಬರೋದು ಅಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮಜಾನೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಏನು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. See, lot of things will be writing here. We'll be taking the link at 8 o'clock in the night. That writing will be there till 8 o'clock in the night. Tomorrow morning 8 o'clock also it will be there if you are going to stay. The links will be there only. Because I have taken classes like that, madam. Morning 8 to night 2 o'clock. One side morning 5 to 9. Then leave to Bangalore. Come there, take programs at 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the night. We run around. We are crazy. Where do we get the energy? I don't know. That's the subject. Subject is so good. And it's all science. I mean, am I speaking anything beyond science? It's only science. All basic science. So now, what we are looking, we want to increase the thing. So what we are looking at here is, there are branches. Okay. Here, taproot in dicots with the secondary roots. Okay. With the capillary roots which you are not at all given focus to. Capillary roots are not being focused at all. Right? Nobody is given the focus. simple to raise your yield now. What we are doing? So now there is a ratio between the shoot root ratio, we know there is a ratio between those two. So now what happens is, this branch trunk we know, branches we know, the small branches we know, twigs we know, all those we know the main root, we know the secondary root, we know the capillary roots. So now all this food prepared which has to be stored for the yield. I saw a ragi seed today. 8 days from now, 6 days from now, they are going to sprout. They start with 2 leaves. The leaf are yellow first. Next day they start become light green, and they start, what they happen? They start producing the food. So the moment they start producing the food, they have to start storing it for their children, for the yield. So what they do, they start storing. Now if you got to start storing, the preparation of the food should be in proportion to the storing capacity. If it is not in a position to store more, if I am not going to eat more than 3 chapatis, if you stuff me 6 chapatis, what will happen? 3 chapatis? You cannot stuff. So the same way, the food prepared should be enough to the storage capacity of the branches, the trunk, the taproot, the secondary roots. Okay, they will go like this also. You can see also. So it should be in proportion. So now, when the proportion has to be increased, now I have to increase the size of the leaf. I have to increase the number of the leaves. So what I have got to do? I have to increase the canopy. Now ring bari baka. Doddu irbeku. What I have got to do? I have got to increase the canopy. A bigger umbrella has got a bigger surface area. The same way, the canopy is increased, the number of leaves increases. Okay, now we have got to increase the size. So what you got to increase the size? That we'll see at around 7 o'clock in the night. How we are going to increase the size. Now we'll look at the numbers. So now I have to increase the size of the canopy. What I am going to do now here? When I have got to increase the size of the canopy, there is a relationship between the feeder roots and the canopy. There is a relationship between the feeder roots, capillary roots and the canopy. The canopy will grow to the extent where the feeder roots are there. This is not your feeder root. This is not your feeder root. This is there to hold the tree plant from falling. The deeper the root goes, deeper the foundation, the taller the building. Deeper the foundation, the taller the plant. The wider the thing, you are seeing in Krishna Gokulashtami and all, when they in the televisions you should have seen. The higher the pot, they are hanging, more the people, more the pyramid, wider, right? The same way, the more the canopy, wider the roots. More they go like that, the holding is no falling. Leave it. No uprooting in natural forming. It's only falling. Come on. It might break. But no toppling in natural forming. Banana trees will not topple. With 60 kg load, no support, they will not fall. How we will do that? We will see. So now, what we are doing, we are increasing the canopy. If you got to increase in the canopy, you cannot do anything like whatever I told. So now, what you have to do, you have to take this feeder root forward. What is the work of the feeder root here? It has to go in search of food and water. What should it do? It should go in search of food and water. So now what we are doing mistake here? We are going for a basin method. Around a mango tree, around a coconut tree, around a coconut tree, 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, basins we are creating. World over science is told basin technology is a failure. Why? There are no feeder roots here. What is the size of your coconut tree? 20 feet from here, right? 16 feet from here. What is the size of your mango tree? 16 from the center, 20 from the center. Arcanite tree, 5 feet from the center. What are we doing? For arcanite 2 to 3 feet, for coconut 6 to 8 feet, for mango 8 to 10 feet. But where are your feeder roots? There. Where are they? There. But what are you doing? You are not allowing them to go there. You are not allowing them to go there. You are bringing everything, giving everything, stuffing everything to your child at home. What will happen to him? He will sit at home and he will become a nobody. Right? He will sit at home and he will become a waste body. The same way, when you are giving it here, what is the work of the secondary root to go? Not necessary. Because if it has to go, who should lead? The capillary root should lead. When they are not leading, they are here because you are giving water here, you are manuring here, you are fertilizing here, so they will not go forward. What happens? The clumping of the roots. See, whenever a tree is uprooted, in all farming techniques except natural farming, you will see a coconut tree with just a 2 to 3 feet or 4 feet stump at the bottom, right or wrong? Right or wrong, madam? You see a lot of things in your, especially horticulture. When it's uprooted, what happens? You will see no roots at all, which are expanded, right? There is a big tree, forget about coconut. There is a big mango tree which falls down. You cannot see a secondary root gone forward on small stumps. Why? What have you done? Who has crumpled it here? Who has cramped it there? Who? You have done it. So who should correct it now? Can the tree correct it? Can the plant correct it? So who has to correct it now? So now we have to understand the science. The feeder roots are there to go in search of food and water, nutrient in the chemical ion stage. In natural farming also, all the nutrients required are in the mineral chemical form only. We want it in the ion stage. All are chemicals, but not synthetic. Synthetic is what we bring from the bags. Okay, so now we have to take this roots forward. If you want to take this root forward, what is the work? To go in search of food and water. So the moment you sow a seedling, moment you sow a seed, what are you going to do? You have to give water and manure where? At the point. At the point. It's a new infant which is grown. What does the mother do? She puts her on her lap. She lifts her lap to feed the child. Right? So, put it on her lap. Feed her there only. Next thing, what happens? Then this starts sprouting. This starts growing. So what are you doing? Next phase is we are increasing the basin. We are increasing the basin. Now what is the mother doing here? She is allowing the child. Now he is 6 to 8 months old. Now what is it she wants? She wants him to grow much faster. He wants the child to grow much faster. What she does? She mixes all this proteinous food and makes it into a paste, and she starts calling the child ba 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 ba. Acha acha beta acha. Vamune vamune. They will keep calling. They will start calling the child because they want to see the child grow faster, bigger, right? They want them to go to third standard the moment they start walking. So that's what they do. Now we want to do your increasing thing. Now the child starts crawling. That's when you bring the water further out. Then comes a stage wherein you will walk and sit on the dining table or in the kitchen. That's when you bring water to the center. Beyond that, you cannot do anything. I cannot. Finally is I can walk. Beyond this, can I do anything? Can I develop anymore? The thing is, the moment I can walk and come to the place of my dining table and sit and eat, till such time you bring the water out. So now you know, science has taught us, knowledge has taught us, a coconut tree will grow 30 to 32 feet in canopy size. An arcanite tree will grow to 8 to 10 feet in canopy size, right? Same way, you know, a tomato plant will grow up to 3 feet. So you know everything. So what we are doing? We are bringing water to the center. There is a plant here now. There is a plant here now. So now once you start taking the water out, what will happen? The canopy will start following. The canopy will start following the moment it goes forward until there is a demarcation between the two plants. So now you have increased the canopy. Leaves are production because the canopy is growing, that plant is growing taller, taller, trunk, taller. Now I know I will not fall, I have gone tall because she has gone down. Now I know these roots are going to the side, I will not trip. So this is becoming bigger. The branches are growing forward, they are becoming bigger, 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 bigger. The moment the roots are going forward, a small root like this stacks, 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 right? They become bigger. The root going down, small, big, 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 and it starts going down. 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet. Now the storage is increased. The leaves have increased. The storage have increased. The preparation will decrease. Right or wrong? Increase. So once the preparation is increased, the storage is increased, the yield will simple. You want to increase the sugar cane to 100 tons, not an issue. Not an issue. Who told it's an issue? Yes, sometimes in some places it may be 35 tons, 40 tons, 50 tons, 100 tons. We have cleared 100 tons. So it is the science behind here. What does this capillary root do? Please, dear friends, have any time you have thought, you have studied, importance has been given to this? Have you any time given, madam? Any time anybody is told? No. Okay, you don't believe that? We'll take it like this now. It's raining heavily. I go below a mango tree. I go below a peepal tree. I go below a neem tree. Huge one. It's raining heavily. Does it fall on me? I am below the tree. Does it fall on me? No. Until it's very heavy, heavy, heavy and it goes up a long time, it will not fall. But all the water is falling where? Once the rain stops, you will see this is the tree. All around the tree canopy, you will see the drip marks. Water drip marks here. Because the water falls from a night, this soil here is disturbed. The soil will splash, then a small dip is done. So here you see all this drip marks here. This is called the drip line. Then do you think the tree is full, not to water itself at the trunk? It is not. It knows where it has to give water, because why is it giving water here? Because its roots are there? The capillary roots, the roots which take food and water are there. This is in nature, but what we are doing? Basin or drip, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. So we are not allowing them to grow. I do everything. This engineer does nothing. This fellow is an idiot. This fellow is stupid. That's what people call me. I am not telling you. This engineer. He does nothing. He doesn't give 1 drop of Jivamrita. He doesn't add 1 cow dung. But still he is getting. He doesn't water properly. He is a faltu fellow, vagabond. He will not come to the farm. Huh? But still he is okay. But I do everything. My yield is not even that much. So what you are doing everything? You are doing everything to get nothing. We will see how a plant will say, will talk to you in the next session. So before stopping at that one, increasing the yield is very simple. And now we will just conclude this session with the what is zero budget natural farming once again. Just a small thing and you will understand. we all know a plant requires nutrients to grow. We all know plants require 16 nutrients. That's what you talk about. NPK, magnesium, calcium, this NPK, magnesium, calcium, molybdenum, okay, 16 minerals that is required. Nutrients are required. Even in the forest it is required, right? Wrong, otherwise it will not grow. So there is a single plant, okay, and all sciences, whether it is natural farming, whether it is organic farming or any farming, chemical farming, and something was written RPP. What is that? RP. Regular package of RPP, right? I am good. So RPP, whatever it is, they say nutrients are required for a plant growth. But there are two school of thoughts here. Two school of thoughts for the same single principle. What is that thought? The first thought says, there is nothing in the soil. There is nothing in the soil. It is just a mixture of mud, soil, mixture of small pieces of stones and the leftovers of very minute organic waste matter. So there is no nutrient in the soil for a plant to grow. You have to add everything from top. You have to bring everything from outside. So you have to put everything from top. The next school of thought, these everything from outside, everything from top are all, you know, where all we bring fertilizers, we bring organic manure, everything. We are bringing everything from outside, from the traditional methods to the modern techniques. We are sitting on this thing. Farm manure is for growing of the plant, to give the nutrients to the plant. Now there is another school of thought. There is everything in the soil for a plant to grow. There is everything for a plant to grow in the soil. She is Mother Annapurna. She is Mother Annapurna. You need not put anything from top. Nothing required from top. So she is Mother Annapurna. The deeper you go in the soil, the nutrients required for a plant growth are in more quantity. If you have got 2 kgs of phosphate here, 2.1, 2.5, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. The deeper you go. Potash will not be in the potash form, all of us know. It will be in the silicate forms. The deeper you go, there is more quantity. This was told in 1924 by Clark and Washington. Two super specialty geologists, world famous geologists who came to India and dug holes and checked out and gave the thing in 1924. The Royal Society of England now told, the deeper you go in the soil is rich with nutrients, and this rich nutrient soil is brought to the top by earthworms. The nutrient rich soil at the bottom is brought up to the top by the earthworms, by the activities of the earthworms. This was told by Royal Society of England. The deeper you go in the soil, it is nutrient rich. Even our research center at Solapur and Gulbarga told the same thing. The deeper you go in the soil, it is nutrient rich. Now a question comes. Okay, sir, fine. You are telling is good. So what I am going to do, this is my farm. I am not in a position to grow anything here. It has become inert, it has become barren. You are telling go deep. I will take out 3 feet of mud. Throw it out. Now I will grow here. Then also it won't grow. Now you understand? The deeper you go in the soil, it is rich. But the deeper you go in the soil, you take out this topsoil. First of all, it is not going anything here. You take out this 3 feet and throw it away and try to grow on this piece. Still it won't grow. Why? You don't have any microorganisms or converting bacteria, anything here, organic matter. It is an inert soil. So we'll see now how to make this, bring this to life. How to do everything. What is this Mother Annapurna? Annapurna means full of nutrients, nothing. It's not the name of the God. Annapurna means she is full of nutrients required for the plant growth. So we'll look into that one, and at this stage, I think Annapurna is ready. We'll fill our the trunk, the roots, everything, and come back. I hope I am not putting into boredom, or do you think it's too lengthy? I think we have to go in this process, right, madam? Do you feel anything? Please, anything if you tell me, I will be knowing, because normally with Dharwad, GKVK, everything, we have, that was 2 days, much slow. Your Arkalgur District Agriculture Training Center, Kavita madam, AD. Oh, she had this Zoom program. She came to know about me, then she called up. Do you know the Zoom program what we are given? Like this, in front of the board, front of the mobile. Every session was 2 hours 45 minutes, not stopping to drink water. The mobile would not stop, the program would not stop going. And I have given 16 episodes every second day. So you can understand the vastness of the subject. So we have to cover everything in our own interest. As I told you, there is no child, there is no youngster to work in the farm. They are facing a lot of problems. Honestly, when you go outside, it is terrorizing. It is terrorizing. Literally, see, all my ears gathered. If you just think there are no children, there are no youngsters to work in the farms, to grow for us, see, another 10 years what is going to happen? We have to do something. We have to see that the returns are there. If we can save this 2.5 lakh crores, give them as the incentive to grow this one. At the same time, the yield should never drop. Sir was telling the yield is 30%, 40%, really is fearing. But we'll increase it. We'll increase the yield. We'll stop importing of the pulses. We'll stop importing of the oil seeds. All things can be done when you go for natural farming. Subhash Palekar Krushi. With this, I think any questions you have got on this, what you spoke, or I continue the next session, the questions can be added up, I think, because we are just started. Is that okay? Thank you. 20 minutes is lunch break. 20 minutes. Now it is 1:40. 2 o'clock, I will be on the stage with the subject. I will be very, very fast. Okay, yeah, 30 minutes. Other wondering. See, my friends started crying. 20 minutes, no, I cannot eat. 30 minutes, please. Let us, we have got too short of time. The errors we have committed while following the basics. We are seeing the problems which have been faced by the farmers today. Dear friends, when I say the soil is Mother Annapurna, it's my duty to also liberate the knowledge behind this decrease the speed of the fans, otherwise there will be sound in the So now, when I say soil is Mother Annapurna, దానికి బియ్యం జాస్తి అయింది. ಸರಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕೆಲಸತ್ತಾ? So let us go to the forest. So where do we see these natural processes? Let us understand the natural processes which are happening in the forest below that huge tree. What we see below that huge tree? The first and foremost thing, when you are watching below this huge tree, you will see the droppings of wild animals. Those who have come to graze there to eat the fruits which have fallen down, the leaves, the twigs which have fallen down, the green leaves and the grass which is grown below, they have come there in herds to eat, and you see the droppings of that animals there. Next, when you minutely watch, you can see some maps, demarcation on the boundary of the figures. It will be white in color, demarcation. taste and all, you have to take the other nutrients which are required, the combination of other nutrients to make them the taste. ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? So now, friends, so how are these nutrients made available to the plant? These nutrients are made the actinomycetes and the earthworms. In the bacteria, microorganisms, we have got the decomposing bacteria and the converting bacteria. So, when I have planted this seed or sown this seed, they are not growing. They are not growing to the required thing. They are not growing to the required side or not giving us the required yield. So, what is happening here? In the same thing, another plant is coming, but this plant is not growing. How is that? That is just because you do not have, this soil is Annapurna, accepted. She is full of nutrients, accepted. But these nutrients are not in the form which the plant needs. These nutrients are not in the form what the plant needs. For example, when the plant breathes, it cannot segregate the nitrogen, right? When it breathes, can it segregate the nitrogen? I have been given a cup of tea. Okay, Mr. Prasanna, you are an expert. Take this cup of tea. See that you drink sugar on this side, milk on this side, from this teacup. Is it possible? We cannot segregate. We have to drink the whole thing. In the same way, when the plant requires the nutrient, it is in such a form wherein it cannot take in its own self in the way the nutrient is available. As I told you, and the first and foremost thing what we should know is, the soil does not contain nitrogen. Nitrogen is the only nutrient which will be absent in the soil until and unless you make it into the humus form. Until unless it is made into the humus form and deposited in the soil, there will be no availability of nitrogen in the soil. What we think, by doing aerogreens or by green manure, take trenches in the soil, deposit all these things and cover the soil. Do it at the stage of flowering, 40 days, right? That's what it is told. 40 days, you have to cut it and deposit into the trench, right? And cover the soil. That is aerogreen. But is it correct? Whenever you cut a plant, before the flowering stage, the carbon in that plant body is volatile state. The carbon in that body is in the volatile state. The moment it comes in contact with the atmospheric oxygen, it's just like traveling in a train. We meet a lot of people, we talk to them, everything, they get us burfi, they eat us kulfi, we eat, we get them, which place, which thing, love, another 50, 100 kilometers, my station comes without even telling them, we just get down and go away. That is the bonding between the carbon in the soil. When you cut that plant or tree before the flowering stage, the carbon is volatile. Now, we allow it to go into pods, just the green pods before maturation. Now it is in the unstable state. It will stay in the soil. It will stay in the soil for a certain period of time. Once again, when in the actions in the future, but I don't think we can cover that. A lot of people are asked to close it at 5:30. So I am winding it up at 5:30. Probably they have not come, those who want to wind up. I don't know. That's what our friend told. You are going from the basics, just jump the track and close the subject. I don't think, let me tell very frankly, give full or nothing. That's our policy. Right, madam? You will have nothing. Why you tell halfway through and then try to pluck the flower, the fleet, the balloon and all in the air? It will not happen. Right, sir? This is a different concept. You have studied all these things, but how we are linking everything together, that's what we are doing. We are doing nothing. That's what you have taught. You have researched, right? You people have given, but we are linking the things, that's all. We are the tailors, just stitching the things together. So, before a thing, it's in an unstable state, it will stay for a very small time. When the anaerobic, when you close the soil, what happens? There is no entry of the air. You have put all wet things. So what it starts? It starts decaying. When it decays, what happens? You will get a foul smell. Foul smell means pathogen. Anaerobic reaction. Okay, when anaerobic reaction happens, then the pathogens are released. When the ammonia of the thing which is released there, then the carbon, when the presence of the moisture is converted into carbonic acid. That is when they react with other nutrients, and there is a lot of process which goes behind that. We want quite some time to explain with full figures. Okay, so nothing called covering the soil. It is just like this. I prepare a food. My mother has prepared food, rice. She forgot to cover, she went. She goes 2 to 3 days for a marriage and comes back. But you still see the rice which the plate has been kept open. Has it gone stale? It will not go stale. You will see the raw rice. Rice once again losing its water. On the top layer it has become hard. It is going to wapas attain its position of rice from the boiled rice, right? That's what you see. Hard ones. Kata kata kata. Right? But she closed the dish. She went out for 2 days. She comes back and I even not opened the vessel. Once you open the vessel, there will be a lot of fungus on the top and it smells rot. Come on, throw it out, throw it out. The moment it is dished into the bin, why is this happening? You are covering with the cold thing inside, which has got moisture. Nothing should be closed. So, in natural farming, in the forest, what you see, all the things which have fallen are on the top of the soil. That is called mulching. Once you close it, you are allowing the rotting process. Once you open it, even we suggest trenches. But you have to fill everything, the mulch material there, but do not close. There is a decomposing activity. If you close it, there is a rotting activity, pathogens, and all the diseases related to fungal attacks. Very simple. So now what do you have to do? Don't close, keep it open. You are saving, it should take its time. Just because I got my salary, or I building, I got my bill, I bring 1 bag of rice. Myself and my wife. How much will she cook? How much will she cook? 2 kgs? 5 kgs of rice for 2 people? How much? 200 grams, right? Only for the requirement. That is when mycorrhiza will come to play. We will go to mycorrhiza. We will go step by step, step by step. Decomposition should happen as per the requirement of the plant. Not shoving something into the mouth. Some children will not be eating, will be saying, hey, you look there, blah, blah, blah. With all those things they will be shoving into the child. The child doesn't want it, right? We should not do that. Only when the child asks for its food, you have to give the food. That's how we will see what is the process that's going to behind this keeping it open. So now, the third and best stage is when the tree or the plant is totally matured. The parts are mature totally. The leaves have yellowed. Now the twigs have started drying, the branches have started drying. The plant is totally matured. The mother is finished her job. She is going to the grave. The plant, you see,
pigeon pea, red gram. After they finish their maturity of the thing, what happens? The plant will, she will go to heaven. So that is the time of maturation. At that time, you chop the thing if required, otherwise allow it to dry on its own, fall on its own. Why do you do that work of chopping it? Until unless you have got something harvesting to be done there, you are afraid of something is there in the bushes and all those things. Till such time you should not chop. First place, why should you go inside? Why should you first place go inside? Not required. We'll see why when the plant will say you have to come inside, when the plant says it does, you do not come inside. So now, after the plant is totally matured, put it onto the soil, cover the soil, that is called the mulch. Now, what will happen? This soil is full of nutrients. But what is happening? This soil is full of nutrients, but in the, let us assume it is a paddy seed. I have got 100 kgs of paddy seed, but not 200 grams of rice. If some guests come to my house, what will happen? Can I cook the food? No. We have to break this paddy, hull it and make it into rice and cook the food. Right? In the same way, whatever is the nutrient required by the plant is not available in the plant until in the soil until unless the pH is almost neutral, 6.5 to 7.2. If it is varying beyond that, each nutrient will act a different form. So now, first I told you there is no nitrogen in the soil. Now this nitrogen, which is 78.6% in the atmosphere in the form N2, is to be given to the plant. So this plant breathes. It comes down. When you are going for a leguminous plant, the nodules are formed on the right on the roots, and the atmospheric nitrogen, which is inert, N2, is converted in the form which is required by the plant, leguminous plant. So it converts that nitrogen into the required form and gives it to the plant. Okay, for its growth. So it gives that nitrogen which is required, and the remaining, this is a factory, it is not a godown. The rhizobium colony is not a godown, the nodule is not a godown, it is just a factory. Just increase its size. How is it increasing its size? 1, 2, 20, 40, 80, 100, 200, lakhs. They are increasing the size of the factory, but not the godown, it is not a godown. So the required thing for the plant is given, the remaining is secreted outside. So now, when you have got your leguminous plant, I have got my monocot plant here. These roots, what they do? They take this nitrogen in the available form for the plant. They grow happily. Do you need to supply nitrogen? No. The nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, is synthesized into the form the plants require, and a portion is given to this plant, which is the host plant, and the remaining is secreted on the outside of its colony, and these roots of our monocot crops, they take this nitrogen and they grow comfortably. So you need bring nothing, you need bring any farmyard manure, you need bring no vermicompost, you need bring no urea, anything, just intercrop of these things, monocot and dicot, dicot and monocot. So now, there is a catch here. There is a catch here. In the absence of the phosphorus and phosphorus solubilizing bacteria and the mycorrhiza, these will not work. So now, what is a mycorrhiza? Mycorrhiza is a fungus in between the lichen and the algae. Pass it in Pass. You see the white this thing formation and the green idamma, pachi. In between them is this mycorrhiza. It is the captain of the whole system, nutrient system, which is this. He is the captain who is the controller. There are ectomycorrhizas and there are endomycorrhizas. Ecto are the ones which stay on the top of the roots. The endo are ones which go into the roots. They go into the roots. They make them. They have got a very good symbiosis with the roots of the host plants. These mycorrhiza spores will come in contact with the roots, they enter the roots or stay over the roots, and they start forming their colony, their growth. Do you know one thing? In Arizona there is one huge tree. The total length of the roots, huge tree, length of the roots, including the capillary roots and all, if you take, it is 3 kilometers. But the length of the fungus, length of this mycorrhiza fungus, when the threads are all open and they link and take care, they go around the globe 3 times. That is the vastness of this mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza, when it starts from the root, it starts spreading. You have seen mycorrhiza? No, you have not seen mycorrhiza. You have seen it, but you do not know it's a mycorrhiza. I will tell you when. When there is some heap of waste material which is fallen on your farm, okay, by the side of a tree. It is slightly moist, okay, or it is rained and after a few days it is almost moist. At that time you slowly try to shift the shredding which is fallen down. Then you see white thread like things. Have you seen those? Have you observed? We farmers will have observed. So those things which is like a net, mosquito net, that white formation, white things which are moving, which are there, are the mycorrhiza fungus. They, in the presence of this phosphorus, the 16 molecules of phosphorus are given to make one nitrogen required form. So that happens only in the presence of the mycorrhiza. So this mycorrhiza extends beyond the root zone. Not only root zone, what we saw the root zone, this is the canopy of the tree and this is the drip line. So what we saw is, here are the capillary roots to the end. But these go beyond. Those go beyond. Beyond. What is their work now? Their work is to collect the nutrients which is required for the plant growth. Which is required for the plant growth, to take the nutrients wherever is available and only give it to the plant. In the mycorrhiza, what you say is, they are like this, and the front ones are, these are called the hypae, which move forward in all directions, and these knots, orbicles, this is where the nutrients which are collected from the soil are deposited. Until this plant gives, the tree gives a requirement of its required nutrient, this doesn't give it to the plant. You are decomposing, it is holding it there. Until the child cries, you won't feed it, right? The same way, until the plant asks, this is not delivered to the plant. It is stored inside the body. After the maturity of the plant, when the final thing, everything is ready, now the full plant, the seeds, everything has to be matured, that is when this will give its life for the plant. It will die and the worst plant will take it, all the nutrients which is available in that, and the final thrust of all your fruits and everything what you see. Wonderful symbiosis between the mycorrhiza fungus and the roots of the plant. So they are in a non-available form. So grow the legumes in the monocot, dicots, monocots, and in that once again there should be legumes. Because the dicot plant has got the ability to store more nitrogen, so when it use it as a mulch, they get more nitrogen to the soil. But when there is a leguminous plant, leguminous tree, in the horticulture you cannot keep on growing the short-term crops. Your areca, because see I will tell you, coconut, arecanut, banana, cocoa, coffee, below that flowering trees, flowering plants, then below that chili, all those things, vegetables, then you have got the roots, ginger, turmeric and all, mulching everything. We grow so many things. In an acre of a coconut plantation, wherein you grow maximum 40 coconut trees, we grow 2,750 trees in that 1 acre. Every 4.5 feet, one plant or tree will be there. How are you placing that? How is then, we will see in the future, for that full 2,750 trees or plants, only 10 kg of cow dung is enough. Which is not enough for even a banana plant. One pan of cow dung is not even enough for a banana plant, but you are having 2,750 plants, and that's more than sufficient. Okay. So now, these nutrients, the nitrogen is taken care of. We'll see how we'll place the plants in the intercropping. Because see now I get confused when you tell the time, you chop my time now. Now I'm getting confused how to go, where to go, move, because I had a different plan. No madam, you chop my time now, I'm getting confused where to go, where to move. Okay, so next one is the phosphates. Urea is taken care of, now we are going for the phosphates. So these phosphates, we require the phosphate solubilizing bacteria. When the pH is beyond 7.2, then the phosphates will be in the divalent ortho calcium palette. Divalent means the two particles of the phosphorus are held together. If it crosses 9, then what happens? It will be trivalent. 3 particles are held together. Now the plants cannot take it. So you have to stabilize the soil, but stabilizing is ruled out, not immediate. So what happens? These phosphate solubilizing bacteria will throw 17 type of acids onto these divalent and trivalent particles. That's when they break it, because they will easily, they will be soluble in this acids. They solve their, what do you say? They are solubilized and the plants take them in the required form and the plants grow. Phosphate is in abundance, nothing to worry. Only your care you have to see is only nitrogen. Any plant, anywhere on earth, main care you have to take is about nitrogen. The third most important is potash, NPK. But the potash, once again, there is a huge saying, there is no potash in the soil. I had big arguments with very senior officials from the department, very senior, who sits in Vidhan Sabha and all. Prasanna, forget it, there is no potash in the soil. Yes, I do accept. It is not in the potash state, it is in the silicate state. So the Bacillus siliceus, bacteria which are in the soil, they convert the silicates into potash and give it to the plants, and the plants grow. In the same way, your magnesium, which goes with the antioxidants in the soil, they do their job. All calcium, potassium, and what all these nutrients do in the plant body, you know it better, so I will not touch that subject. So all these nutrients which are in the non-available form are made into the available form and given to the plant, and the plant grows. So now, there is a catch. Where is the industry to convert them? My soil is barren, and early in the morning when you started the program, you yourself have told 36 of the soil has lost its topsoil. And 80% will be losing. That's what you told. And we also know the organic carbon in Indian soil, agriculture soil, is not even 0.3. Right, madam? Do you know how much it is for desert? Much lesser than the desert. So all of Karnataka, all of Rayalaseema, all of Telangana, Hyderabad are all better, not better than deserts. Second biggest desert in the country, do you know? Karnataka. After Rajasthan, it's Karnataka. So you should understand, what is a desert? It is a nut. It doesn't grow. Nothing grows. Simple. So now, what are we going to do? We are taken up all the nutrients, but if you have to take up all these nutrients, there should be the presence of the microorganisms, the funguses, the active microbes. But if they have to be there, they require energy. If the energy is required, then there should be organic matter in the soil. There should be carbon deposition in the soil that gives them the energy. If the carbon is to be deposited in the soil, it cannot be deposited in the soil without the presence of the nitrogen. This carbon combines with 10 particles of carbon or atoms of carbon, combines with 1 atom of nitrogen and becomes the humus. Humus, which is the heart of the soil. Now you deposit this into the soil, it will retain there. It will be there. It is the heart of the soil, the humus. So now, if you have got to increase the humus, what you have got to do? You have to mulch the soil with carbonous material and nitrogenous material. That is monocot and dicot. More of dicot and less of monocot. So once you, because in the thing we saw 48,000, more than 3/4 are dicot, you have to put more of them onto the soil with the nitrogenous leguminous waste of the straw of the plants. So then this humus is formed. Now, lot of people we are seeing their stubble burning is happening and all these things. So they are going for dibbling, just spreading the paddy straw and dibbling with that. They are doing a wonderful job so that they are stopping this one. But say, once again what is happening there is the nitrogen CN ratio is 1:80 there. In the paddy, the CN ratio is 1:80. One is nitrogen, 80 parts are carbon. So now, one nitrogen combines with 10. So one nitrogen combines with 10, left out is 70. What will happen? They will go back. Once they decompose, what they should happen? They will go back. Instead of going by the smoke, they are, once again, carbon dioxide. They are going back to the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. So what we have got to do, this stubble burning should not be done. Fine. When you are planting paddy in the mulch, making way for it and planting mulch, you see that in between the paddy you dibble legume seeds. Paddy straw. This is the straw. All mulch is only mature material. So, in between the paddy, you grow like we grow this thing, dryland paddy, wherein every 4 or 5 lines will be this thing, rows will be paddy, and the 5th or 6th row, 2 rows will be black gram, green gram, depending upon we are early summer, because the monsoon in our part of the place, Karnataka, we get the early summer rains, wherein we go for black gram and green gram. That's those two. The wonder of those two things is they grow by residual moisture. That's what Madam correctly pointed out. So it's very easy. So like that, we are now you have to dibble the seeds of the legumes in between. Once they grow up and they fall onto the stubble or the mulch, they are getting that extra nitrogen and they get deposited into the soil. So we have to see that how, yes, things have been happening, how we can improve. You have to improve the nitrogen content. So our only possibility is by growing the leguminous plants. Simple. So now all these microorganisms, all these bacteria, fungi, actinomyces, whatever in the soil is required is given to the plant and plant grows. But there is one more thing which feeds this plant. They are the earthworms. The earthworms. They burrow the holes, come onto the top, excrete their excreta, go back somewhere, come here somewhere, excrete, go here, come here, go here, come here, go here, go there. So we saw in the morning, the deeper you go in the soil, it is rich in nutrients and it is brought to the top by earthworms. Now the earthworms, where are these earthworms? We know that just 4 granules of whatever you are trying to grow the plants, put it into your mouth. What happens? 5 people have to be there. Right? You are spraying so much for the tiny things. Just 4 drops. Anyone has the guts? I'll give 1 crore. 4 drops. Anybody has got the guts? I'll give 1 crore. Put it in the mouth. What happens? This 70 kg body, 5 people. Simple. So when that is the case, what will happen to these tiny worms? They have run away from the murdering poisonous chemicals. They have gone to your bunds. They are gone to your bunds and here they are in the super hibernation or samadhi state. They are in the super hibernation or samadhi state. The moment you give the smell, the aroma of the cow dung here, immediately they will get up and come to them. Now you have got a question. What is that question? Okay, you are telling the earthworms have gone Eden and they go down, where the moisture level is enough for it, and here they go to super hibernation. They go there, sleep, deep sleep, Kumbhakarna. The moment you give it here, on the top, what happens? They immediately get excited, agitated, and they start coming to the top. You have got a question now. If there is super hibernation samadhi, we don't believe it. I will give an example. What is this example now? You go out, I will send all of you together. You go out in search of all of Shivamogga. Just bring a frog on the surface. Just bring a frog from the surface of the Shivamogga plains now. I will give 1 lakh rupees to each one of you. Is it possible now? No? But it rains, the clouds accumulate and it starts raining. A few drops on this thing, what do you see? You cannot sleep. N numbers of toads, big ones, small ones, everything. Kappa, 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 jumping around. Where were they? Where were they? Who was feeding them? They are in the hibernation, deep sleep. So you now can relate earthworm and hibernation in this one, right? And there is another question. If at all, how is this scent? How is this scent goes to such a depth, or how it invites the earthworms? Okay, now I switch off all the thing. It's 7:30 in the night now. I just place a jaggery there, jaggery piece there. That is, which is natural. Now this chemical one you keep, you throw full over the floor, not a single ant will come. They know it is poison. They will come only to the natural ones. So you keep somewhere, hide it. Okay. Then go to the TV, bring all the TV people and tell, I have done it here. Give the newspaper advertisement. I have done the jaggery below this table here at the right hand corner. Do you do that? But once you come in the morning, what do you see? Full soldiers. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Who are those? Ants. Now who gave them the signal? Where were they? How did they get the signal? How did they get the aroma? This is nature. They can send you to such a distance. The same way. Now you have got one more doubt here. How the earthworm comes? See, when you are walking in the farm, even in your agriculture farms, university farms, you will see the cow dung will have fallen. Okay. In the morning you go, while coming back, you just roll over the cow dung. If you have not done it, roll over tomorrow or day after when you go back after 10 days. Roll it over, you will see holes. Who are the ones who have done the holes? Wherein even the JCB cannot dig. It's hot summer. Even the JCB cannot dig the soil. In such a state, who are the insects which have made the holes? One is the cow dung roller, the other one is the earthworm. Where were they? Simple. We have seen everything. We have seen everything. We are not bringing it into practice. That's it. We are saying there is no earthworm, so bring it from the thing. So there is nothing called dying. Just give them the climate and the atmosphere, the environment. They will come by their own. They will start working. So the nutrients are deposited onto the top soil by the earthworms. The roots, feeder roots, dear friends. Morning, even Chandrasekhar sir was very, very particular when he was telling, don't go for deep harrowing. Why? So the deep harrowing, the feeder roots, maximum 98% or 96% on the top 6 inches layer. They are in the top 6 inches layer. So it will be very careful when you are going to harrow, when you are going to deweed, when you are going to do intercultivation. You have to be very, very careful. Not go for a deep plow, because you will be cutting these. Once you cut this one, we saw in the morning, the food is stored in the trunk, the branches, the thing, the roots, tap root, mother root, secondary roots and all. So what we are going to do? We are going to cut this. The store is gone. The process, they lose the food. Now I cut my finger. It rains, or you water, irrigate. It rains, or I irrigate this one. I put water onto this one. What happens here? When there is a cut, the wound will become much worse. The pus will form. If you forget it, leave it like that, gangrene. A few more days, So once you have done this one, there is excessive watering. The first signal given by the plant is yellowing of the leaf. First you see a small must, whitish formation, like dust. First thing it will show, I have got a light cold. That's when we have to be very careful. So we have done the mistake here. We will see once again in the future how we are going to observe what are the problems a plant is facing. So like this now, it is in the top 6 inches, 96% of the feeder roots are in the top 6 inches. We have to be very careful when you are plowing or harrowing. And when you go for a deep plow, what happens is, because the roots are here, what we are going to do, when you go for a deep plow, you take this one and put it down. Where the topsoil goes, it goes down, and the bottom soil, which is not full of nutrient, comes to the top. When you sow your seeds, where they should have got the mother's first foot is gone down. Inert food soil is on top. So there is a problem with the growth of the plant. So you should be very careful when you are plowing, even the first plow or the final plow. We have to be very careful. We should not go for a deep plow. And madam was asking a question, it should be by bullocks. Somebody was asking. There are no cows at all, so where is the question of bullocks? No cows, madam. There are no cows at all. There are no oxen at all. When there is no cow, who will tend an ox? There are no oxen. So you have to go for a tractor alone. So when you go for plowing with a tractor using a cultivator, you see that the soil is not too very soft. Please listen here. When you are plowing using a tractor, be very careful to see that the soil is not too very soft. That is the time when you have to take. Otherwise the tire and everything will press the thing. And you have to be doubly sure when you are plowing the thing. See, there are a lot of weeds which have grown in the field when it rains. So nowadays what is the practice is to use a rotary. Right? The rotary which chops up the weeds. So you are using the rotary, what you are doing, you are hardening the soil much more dangerously than the cultivator. Because rotary has got knives, the flats, which hits at such a speed. So once the rotary is gone, you do nothing. Just throw a liter or 2 liters of water on the where the rotary is done, and just try to do like this. When you have poured water, what should happen? Your leg should go up here, but you will bang thing and you will get the pain of your life here, because within the just 1 inch below, the soil is totally hardened. So if you are using the rotary, please tell the farmers, if they are using the rotary to care of these weeds because they have grown too much and we don't get the people to chop them off and pull them out today. So when you are using the rotary, to once again use the cultivator. After it rains, to use the cultivator, they have to loosen the hard soil. Otherwise the soil will be like this. Your rainwater falls onto this, it will take up the top 1 inch soil. The top soil is taken off very speedily if you are using rotary instead of the cultivator. This is what I am saying, rotavator. You use it. That's what I told. When there are weeds, there is no other option. We have to use the rotavator. It will chop. It will be more. Sir, today, you know one thing. The tractor will be going in the front. Earlier, at least 4 or 5 people would run sowing, right? Today, no, sir. sitting on the tractor and throwing the manure and the seeds. What to do with farming, God only knows. Sometimes I feel something has gone wrong, some nuts are loose. We are trying to teach. Who is going to take up farming? That's a big problem. Honestly, they are sitting on the tractor and broadcasting the seeds, broadcasting the fertilizers, broadcasting the manure. Which one, sir? Using the rotavator? Sir, there are, when you are using the rotavator, you will be chopping up the thing, and servo is telling the seeds will be broadcast, and some the straight stems will once again, the roots which get in contact with the soil, once again they will grow. That's what I told you. Once you use the rotavator, after next rains, use the cultivator. So first loosen the soil. Next what happens, whatever the organic matter is left out in bigger pieces, they accumulate and they take it and throw it away. And after you are sowing your in rows, don't broadcast any seed, because today it is become very difficult to get laborers to clean the weeds in between the broadcast ones. So go for the thing and use the manual methods or whatever method you have got. Don't use the herbicides to spray. Even we have invented one tool, because it was not a forum to tell, but I am telling you, it just 2 people, up to 2 acres, they can clear the weeds within just 2 people, without any petrol, no engine, no tire, nothing. It's a patented item. So some things what is happening now, sir, what you are rightly, you people are telling rightly, you telling is 100% right. But the problems today, we are trying to find out a solution to the non-availability of farm laborers. Literally not a single person, sir. Normally, this year we have not cultivated anything, because we don't have rains. Normally we cultivate ragi, paddy, tur. We have left everything only for weeds to come this year. No rains. Everything is there, sir. It requires minimum to grow, minimum water is required. It's not an horticulture plant. Sir? Yes, we'll talk. That is, yes. And yes, we will be talking about that also. Sure. This is literally. See, when the rainfall is low, you can grow. There is nothing wrong in growing. See, sir. What we
20 days gap is there. September, 20 days gap in August. I was that was actually national farming to answer at least 2 weeks and contact. Go to follow national farming to these crops. At least you can escape myself or particular particularly grown.
No. See what we did with the farmers who are practicing. This year we started off with finger millets as usual. We had no rains, literally no rains for more than a month, you know it. So the shoots which came up, they all dried up, whether it is natural. What is the time period for the time lapse for anything without water? If the plants are bigger, it's a different issue. When the plants are just in the sapling stage, in the week, 10 days after sowing, we literally had no rains. You know it better. One and a half month, more than 1.5 months, we had no rains. It went to a toss because we had done the 2 feet model what we are practicing to get more yield. Then we had to go for side dribbling method. In the this thing, we have done it once again. They are growing, but not in my farm. My farmers' friends. Sir? Ah. Puddling for this thing, paddy. Sir, paddy, just you cross over to Sagar and all, these are also very high rainfall areas. They practice natural form. The same thing. When you are adding Jivamrita, just leave out the water. Yeah, you have to use it. Sir, this is the major problem. First thing, there are no cattle. We are finding a difficulty to give it even this 10 kg of cow dung. Let us accept the open facts. What are we trying to do? One second. And forget about the oxen. Have you seen any oxen? Anywhere? So you have to, that's what I told you, when you go for a rotavator, go to the cultivator after that. That will happen. That will happen in a very, sir, Dharwad we are given 100 pairs, that is 50 pairs. Ramnagara we donated 50 pairs. Siddhganga Mutt we have donated 50 pairs. Now Sattur Mutt we are going to donate 50 pairs to the farmers to take up Kudi Krushi, involvement Krushi. That is, I give it to a farmer, he will take care of another 10 farmers to take up natural farming. So we are in the process of giving them and working from our ends as a private people. Nobody pays us a single paisa. We work on our own in the interest of the farming, the country as a whole, and before all those things, for me, particularly myself, I should get good food and all those things. So we were working there, but as you say, oxen are just 500-600 kg and they walk on 4 legs and the imprint is very less. So there is no compression of the soil. But when you use a rotavator and when you use a tractor which is 5 tons, actually there is a thing. That's why when I told you, you have to see that the soil is not too moist. But as sir told in Konkan and all our regions here where there is heavy rainfall, options are very, very limited. Kya kare sir? You don't have ox, you don't have this one. The next option is only this. And once we go for natural farming, sir, kuch bhi nahi sir. I told madam, no, something nuts are gone wrong with us. We are trying to preach and go everywhere. That's what I was telling madam just now. I told her, no. There is not a single farm laborer. What to do? That's what I told you in the morning. No, only these grey hairs. ये मर गया साला, कुछ खाने वाला क्या मिलेगा, कौन करेगा? It is really very difficult question. Not a single person, sir. See, even this one I told in Dharwad University. There is a huge rush for BSc AG, MSc AG, everything. Just for jobs, please. Not to take up farming. Right or wrong? So don't feel proud, sir. Everybody is taking up BSc AG, MSc AG. I told you openly in front of the VC. There is just a software job, mechanical engineering. This is for the job. These children will not go back to farming. So who is going to take up farming? Sir, very difficult. I understand sir's pain. I am not, we are trying how best we can. What is the way to convert it? How to bring back these farmers? We are trying, why we are trying this one is to take the support of you. You will be astonished when I say 5,000 coconuts to 50,000 coconuts within 3-4 years. But not the neighbor will come and watch it, sir. Kya karta hai aap? What do you do? I told you, no, they are taking 10, 12,000, 12 lakhs per acre, but the neighbor will not come and see. 10 villages surrounding, not a single person will come and see and take it up in his farm. How do you go about it? They go from here to Bijapur, they come from here to, my people from here come to Solapur and everywhere. From Telangana, lot of people have come here. But Telangana, the neighbor will not go to that farm. ये क्या हो रहा है, कैसा होता है? That's why we are trying to take your help, because you are the people who can advise them. They take your advice. Sir? Yeah, happy. I'll give you some addresses before I leave. You can go. Madam, there is a big debate about that. I have been to TVS, I have been to all these people, foundations. The first thing they say is there will be a drop in yield for 5 years. In whatever question you asked, we will not be using that word because we don't want to get into debates. They tell first year there is a drop of 50%, 40, 30, 12, 10. Then you come back. So if I am growing 30 bags of paddy, already 70 kgs is 21 quintals. If it comes down to 10.5, 140 crore people, it cannot become 70 crore. Right? So in natural farming, there is no drop in yield. In the farmer's farm, what we have seen, yes, there are some places where the soil is very sandy, red soil. We are seeing these problems where there is more of water erosion, soil erosion. But in all the other farms, even whether it is short term or horticulture, the crops are very good. The yield is very good. We are not finding much of a problem. See, Sri Lanka will come there. Sri Lanka were never ready. That's what we, when we will be telling you this one, what we tell is, you have got 10 acres, start with 1 kunta. Take a full experience in that, move forward. We don't tell them, you have got 5 acres, start off with 5 acres. Because as I told you, we are playing with the life of the farmers. And they'll not have the guts. Doing nothing, you get everything, nobody will believe this. So we have got a lot of farms. I was talking to my friend also. The farmers were already practicing for a very long time. They grow without adding anything, no Jivamrita, Dhananjana, just so get it. In black alluvial soil, you can show your hand inside, take the soil like this. What is the carbon content there? Up to 1 feet you can put your hand in dry summer. Peak summer you can put your hand in. So what is the carbon content? So that is the, this is a process. But why we are explaining it is there should not be failure even in the first crop itself. We are trying our best to see that there is no drop in yield even in the first. See, when you are having finger millet with intercrops or you are having maize with intercrops, the combined yield is what you get. Right? Because the space for maize is taken away, or the maize space for millet is taken away by the intercrop, right? So it is a combined yield, the yield of the pulses and the monocots, the yield of the oil seeds, the pulses and the monocots, the yield of the oil seeds, the pulses, the vegetables and the monocots. So all this combined yield put together is more than the yield. Combined yield we have to take. When you are using your space for intercrops, every 6 feet you are having one intercrop. 16 into 400, 6,400 square feet is done. We have taken more than 15% of the land for intercrop. So I cannot expect 10 quintals of finger millet what we are getting in the full land. We are losing 15%. But once again there will be increase when you go for intercrop. That's a long process. That's what I told you. I am totally getting confused when you broke my time. We are just jumping here and there now. So okay. And to answer my friend from Tiptoe, we had this problem not only in my farm, everywhere. We go for some rains to crop some crops. In every area, we wait for those rains to crop so that we will not get stuck when the flowering stage, we do not get stuck when the maturing stage and all. So once the thing is off, we wait for the next rains after a month, 2 months later. Once again that gives and finish. There will be no crop. Only jawar or maize will be grown for the fodder. They grow nothing, no food crop will be grown. You go all over the state. This is the same thing which has happened. Once we come to the end, by that time we will be telling what are our crops, how are we following, how are we taking up the yield, everything. Surely will come. I got arcanut, I got banana, I got coconut. Yeah? Mango, we have got the scented variety, pickle variety. Pickle variety, the small, pickle, the small, we call appe midi. From same, this Sagara and 60, we took it from here. Sir? No. We'll have no problems. Nut drop, the splitting, all this things now. Sir, when there is more water, all this problem comes. All fungal attacks. The shunti kashayam and the buttermilk are the best source of eliminating those. Very simple. We'll go there. We'll go to the first stage when we'll go there. So now, we are explaining this to, because this is a session for philosophy, principle and technique of natural farming. We are going in that order. It is not as a farmer I come here to just liberate my experience. Even we did this in Dharwad University. We had 2-day workshop. The same thing we did. So friends, now we require lot of microbes and all the fungus and active materials, what are all we told, for the conversion of the nutrients and to supply to the plants. But now we require these many types of microorganisms and all, bacteria, funguses, everything. So where do you go? Which factory do you go? In now we are getting Pseudomonas, Trichoderma and rhizoculture and PSB culture. Some cultures are being given by the department. But we want a lot more, because we told you there are 108. What all is required for a plant? Even in the Western countries where this research on paddy is being done, they are telling more than 26 nutrients are required for a paddy growth. They are also finding what all is required extra. First 16 are given. Now they are finding out how many nutrients are required for everything. You know? So all these microorganisms which are required in the various species and what all, because rhizobium for pigeon pea is not the same for your red gram, is not the same for your horse gram, not the same. Azobacter, Azitobacter, Beigeria, Frankia, what all you say, Clostridium, Bacterium, Lactobacillus, what all. So all those things you cannot go and buy from the market. You can go to only one person, only one animal, only one living being, that is the local cow. The cow with a dewlap and a hump at the back. The hump at the back is all local cow. Gir, Karpakar, Saiwal, Aldekar, Krishna Ghati, Krishna Valley, whatever you say, Malnad Gidda, Pungunur, Raichur, Lal Kandari, Lal Sindhi, all these things which are having a hump on their shoulder, on the back, are all local cows. These are the, in India, it is revered as a very holy animal, and we say there are 33 crore gods in the intestine of the local cow. What are the 33 gods then? From time immemorial, when this planet was only made up of rocks by the melting of the lava and all the formation, after that the single cell microorganism which started, and from there the lichen or the algae they started decomposing this soil, the rocks, and started making them into soil. So billions and billions of your conversion, and finally through going from a single cell to the plants. Before any animal, vertebrates and all those things came the plants. From that day, the ones who are providing the nutrients to these plants are these same very microorganisms. From time immemorial, to this day and every day. So they are not seen by the naked eye. They are always doing betterment for the living beings. They see that the crops, the plants, the trees, whatever you grow, come and give abundance of yield, and that we consume, and we are all healthy and happy. So they see the continuity of the whole universe, whole globe, the continuity of all the population. So by providing the nutrients to the plant, from the plant we take the nutrients, right? We consume the plants, and the plants are consumed by the domestic animals also. Once again they consume these domestic animals, and the wild animals consume those herbivores. So when that is happening, they are seeing the continuity of the life cycle of all the living beings on the thing. They are not seen by the thing, always not seen by the naked eye, always taking care of the living beings, well-being of the living beings. Those who take care of the well-being, they have never seen God. Nobody seen God, but they always see the well-being of all the living beings. The same thing is done by this microorganism, taking care of the well-being. They are not seen by the eyes, and that's why they are called gods. 33 crore gods meant nothing. It is all the microorganisms which are favorable, effective, favorable microorganisms which convert the soil nutrients and give to the plant. That's why he called 33 crore gods. The abode of 33 crore gods. So we use the cow dung and the urine from this cow. It can be any breed. We use the cow dung and urine of this to make our culture, all this bacterial culture. So how are we going to make all this bacterial culture? So as we saw, Dr. Chandrasekhar had clearly given in these pictures. We take the first one is Bijamruta, which is a #1 seed culture, treatment culture, seed treatment. So what this Bijamruta does is, in any seed, there is an anti-germinating property. So it takes care of this anti-germinating property and see that all the seeds which are developed, all the seeds which are sown are sprout and you get the plants. Bijamruta takes care of that anti-germinating property. The next one is made out of urine and cow dung. It's got very good antifungal properties and antibacterial properties, antiviral properties. That's when whatever the spores which are left in the soil, when you treat this seed, what serve, only mistake what was happening there is, we should never leave the cow dung is placed in the, it is left loose into the cow urine, 20 liters, right? 20 liters of water and 5 kgs of cow dung is left loose, tied in a cloth. Next morning you have to just squeeze the thing. You should not put the cow dung inside. You have to take only the thing. Then add the cow urine. Then add the soaked supernated this thing, lime 50 grams. So filter that on and put all those things. Then only you dibble your seeds. And why we saw that they are putting in a bag and dibbling the seeds is, you take this finger millets and all, throw it into the Bijamruta. Then you have to keep searching. So put it in a bag, dip it and take it out. So that's what they were doing. But in Jivamruta, I do not know why, in Bijamruta, otherwise as sir told, there will be this waste or the cow dung which sits onto the seeds. So they form the pellets or this thing when you are using that seed drillers. They get stuck. The next one, even when you are broadcasting or trying to sow in a row, there will be differentiation of this thing. That's why we have to filter the Bijamrita. Once you do this Bijamrita, you can use it only for 2 days. You prepare it tonight, tomorrow morning it's ready, the next day morning. Only 2 days you can use it, afterwards you have to throw it into your feed. Once again you have to take a new one. And Bijamrita is given 5 kgs of cow dung, 5 liters of cow urine, 20 liters of water. But sometimes we might be using, as I told you, for finger millet, per acre we hardly use 50 grams of finger millet seeds, that is ragi seeds, 50 grams. And we use just 2 kgs of paddy per acre of paddy. 2.5 kgs of onion seeds for 1 acre of onion. So 2.5 kgs is too less, so that you need not take this 5 kg, 5 liters and 20 liters. You can just take 1 kg, 1 liter and 5 liters, half kg and 2.5 liters. Or 1 glass and 4 glasses. You see the requirement. Just that is 5 liters, don't prepare so much. Whatever is required according 1:1:4. And the change of 50 grams to lesser and lesser quantity. That is just to make the acidic property of the urine into stable form. That's all we are using that line. So like that you are going to use Bijamrita. In Jivamrita, Sarish told everything is perfect. There is no any 2 words about in Jivamrita. So you can even filter and use it in drips and sprinklers. You can filter it and use it through drips and filters, because no labor anywhere to. University will get a lot of people who are working on daily wages. Village you will not get a single person. So maximum people are using it through drips and filters, sprinklers. Options no. We need not dilute to such an extent. We can go to for the rows which are much better, but there are no options. Otherwise, you have to forget about farming only. At least here there is not much of a work. Then Jivamrita, Gana Jivamrita, what you are doing? Gana Jivamrita, one process what Sir was telling was make it into balls. This is very tedious process, very tedious, because the ball will be this big. This whole thing to dry, it will take 1 month. So that is one of the methods. If you are free, you can keep doing. But as I told you, no. The next one, they will plaster it over to the wall. Burning. And they powder it. Once again, you have to take care to see whatever you are doing, this one, or what we give the options are. Once you mix up this 100 kg with 2 kg and all those things, jaggery and all, whatever is given, you spread it on the floor. Into a 2 to 3 inches thickness, you can spread it, and take this picasso, what we call, not the shovel, which is wide. We have got this one. No? With that one, you can every day or 2 days once, you can just turn it over. By doing that, and you have to take care to see that don't allow it to dry fully. After that, you will have to take the hammer. Once again, labor. So by your hand, after 3, 4, 5, 6 days, you will be trying, depending upon the climate, it will just break in our hands. It will be soft, it will break in our hands. It will be still wet. At a time, you can powder it, and only those which are using in the seed drill, like what we use it for after when you are dibbling all these seeds, we also give manure, no, at the back. So for that only you have to make it into fine powder, take it into a sieve, and add fine sand to it, because otherwise it will not flow through the seed drill. If you are going by hand, not required. You can just go about it. Then the other problem what we faced here, even I faced earlier, when you are making it when they heap and they are adding this jaggery and this one, red ants were major menace. They are using this jaggery water and doing it. That is when we had the menace of the red ants. So it was difficult to go once again. I would do it personally in the earlier days. Then finally what we have done now, we have changed the whole process. we are preparing this liquid Jivamrita and sprinkling over the heap of the cow dung. Heap of the cow dung and mixing it. We are eliminated that one thing because Jivamrita is already culture. We are once again adding that culture to this fresh cow dung with the cow urine and all those things. And only the difference is instead of jaggery we are using the Jivamrita and mixing it up. And when the lands are too huge, 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, then for them preparing this, all these things is a big problem. So what the farmers are doing, what we have suggested is, they load their this thing, tractors, and pour this liquid Jivamrita on the top. Next day morning they will just go broadcast the thing, filling, sowing. So options are depending. Now we have to go for lot of clarifications, especially with the absence of farm laborers. We are finding this very much difficult, and more options are coming up, so you make it easy. So Jivamrita has to be given in the horticulture farm when you are starting your farm, the natural farming beginners. You have to use once in 15 days. After that, once in a month is more than sufficient. But Jivamrita, I will make it once again clear. Jivamrita is told it is a liquid fertilizer in lot of places. Please, take it out of your mind. It is not a fertilizer. 10 kg of cow dung cannot become a fertilizer. Right? What is the nutrient? 0.2%, 0.8%, no nothing you can get there. So it is a microbial culture. What we saw, how the nutrients in the soil are converted and given to the plants. They are the storage of all these things. The microbes, the funguses, the actomycetes and all those things which are there in the intestine, they come out through the dung and the urine, and we make it into a culture, and this culture is once again given to the soil where that culture replicates. Because the roots are giving the sweet, the soil is moist, they get the atmosphere, once again they are replicating themselves there. Not only in the drum, even in the soil they replicate and become more and more, and they keep working more. But you have to keep replenishing. There are a lot of reasons why they lose out. So we have to, for every short-term crops, 15 to 21 days once, long-term crops, horticulture and all, once in a month. But once again, monocot, dicot, monocot, and even in the horticulture, legume plants or trees have to be there, and with a mulch. No, you can just pour on the side. No spraying. We just throw it like this. If at all I prepare, directly on the side, directly on the plant, directly on the soil. 200 liters will be ready, no? 1 acre. Jivamrita. Then Jivamrita, you powder it and 6 to 8 bags, cement bags, no? That's enough. Powder, you before the last tilling, you just broadcast it, spread it over the farm of 1 acre. Give the last tilling, level the land, make your lines, dibble the seeds, and behind that one you have to give Jivamrita once again in the seed line. Pardon? No, we use the first one is when around 6 to 10 bags, depending upon if it is very red soil we go for 10, black soil and all 6 bags, 6 cement bags. It should come up to 100 kgs of dry Jivamrita. That one we will be using, and while dibbling you go behind, it should come to another 1 bag, so 7 to 10 bags. And when you are going for the second tilling, second intercrop, intercultivation, not the first, when you are doing it the 15 days, when you are taking out the small weeds which have grown for a bigger height, when you are deweeding those, that's when we once again broadcast this another 4 to 6 bags in between the rows, Jivamrita. then you go for intercultivation. 100%. Who told no tell? Who told no telling? Who told no telling? Who is told? Where it is told? Not here, not in this technique. No. Have you read anywhere? In the short-term crops, you have to go for intercultivation. You have to. Otherwise, you have to go for the mulch. See, what is intercultivation? Intercultivation is a mulch, boss. It is a soil mulch, loosening of the soil. Who told this? No. You should be taken. Yes, 100%. See, I'll come to that. Okay, I'll come to that. Okay. Okay.
That's where maybe the first chapter that also the resource person who came more interpretation.
No. I'll tell you what is an intercultivation, what is a mulch. What is the confusion, we will clarify. That's not an issue. He's left now he has got a lot of e-books. Now earlier we had a series of books, 8 to 10 books. Now there is no publication. I'll give you the address of the e-books. You can call them up and they'll link you up. So now Ganajivamrita, it has to be given like when you are going for the second intercultivation, you can just broadcast in between and go for the intercultivation. So the Ganajivamrita is over. Now the next most important thing which comes is, we have finished the seed treatment, we have finished the Jivamrita miraculous microbial culture. Now we are going to the next stage, the third wheel, which is called the mulching. So what is this mulching? What is the work of mulch? Sir, you had some question. Now we will come there. So mulching. So what is a mulch? See, there are 3 types of mulch: the soil, the live, or the residue mulch. So soil mulching is what? Losing the soil in whichever way you can. It's a mulch. It's it. So before going to the soil mulch, we will go for a tea break. We'll give out the flowers, they will never give out the pots, they will never give out the bunches, and they will, if at all they give out, paddy, finger millet, everything, any bunches formed, they will never mature. They will remain green for ages. Because until the seed matures, the plant will not die. So, because you are covering the required sunlight, you can see this just here. There will be here. Now there is that Krishi castle something there, no? Opposite our guest house. You take a turn, there is the left one. You just go behind. By the side towards the guest house. You go inside. There is one coconut tree below. Just once you pass out the guest house, you see onto the right side, attached to the guest house wall, there are these coconut trees with pungamia at the bottom. There the coconut yield is too very good. You just pass, and by the side of that Krishi castle or something, Krishi castle, you go inside, in between the Arcanet and the hostel building. You go there, at the back you can see one coconut tree which is below the shade. There is neem and other names, botanical name I do not know. We call them the tangdi, sime tangdi, doddu. Below that they are there, and you cannot see that coconut tree which it is not at all grown. And on the right side, just behind the hostel, you can see one totally with lot of problems with the sheaths of the coconut, but the coconut yield is good there. So it is not covered by the thing. So like this, but there is lot of water, that total whatever water is drained by the farm, in the Arcanet farm, comes and settles there. So it's getting that extra water, so it is in trouble. Here, Pungemia, which is a leguminous nitrogen fixer, it is below, the yield is good, the plant is good. There it is covered by the thing, the plant is not at all grown. So here, the plant is not covered, but there is excess water, it is having a problem, but there are a lot of crops. So you can watch that one when you go there. So all these monocot cereals require the highest intensity of solar energy. So accordingly you have to place. So these things you can never go into your horticulture plots. You can always have them as the open field crops. All the other things, your pulses and all, you can take them inside. Pulses, vegetables, flowers, all these things you can take in horticulture plots, but not cereals and millets. Then it is the straw mulching. So anything you cover with the soil other than plastic, glass and iron pieces. Don't cover plastic, don't cover it with glass pieces,